वाला पहनूं क्योंकि शादी में क्या पहनूं ऐसा हो।
डॉक्टर सर
मॅडम तुमच्याकडे इको येतोय मॅडम कशाच तरी.
हो सर केला केला.
दीदी हेलो ना, तुम तो मेरे सौतेली बेटी हो, ये तो मेरा बेटा है, चल निकल। मुझे तो कोई प्यार ही नहीं करता। ये चलो बेटा।
Doctor, sir, can we start now? Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sir, can we start, sir?
Yeah, no issue, sir.
Okay.
वेलकम सर.
Thank you, sir.
किसान विद्या प्रसारक संस्था SPDM Arts Commerce Science College Shirpur organizes 1 week online faculty development program on innovative learning strategies in science for sustainable research in collaboration with School of Chemical Science KBC NMU Jalgaon in association with Indian Society of Analytical Scientists Pune chapter. I welcome our principal and Dean Science and Technology Kavitri Bainabe Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University Jalgaon, Professor S.S. Rajput sir, and Chief Convener of 1 week online FDP program. I also welcome Director School of Chemical Science Kavitri Bainabe Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University Jalgaon, and Convener of 1 week online FDP, Professor D.H. More sir. Welcome sir. I also welcome our management trustee and ex-principal Honorable Professor S.N. Patel sir is also being with us in this online FDP program. I also welcome our Vice Principal of College and Head Department of Chemistry, Professor S.P. Mahire ma'am. I welcome Dr. L.P. Chaudhary sir, Coordinator of 1 week online FDP program, and Dr. P.G. Patel sir, Organizing Secretary of this online FDP program. And last, I also welcome our all dear participants which are present for this 1 week online FDP program. Dear participant, please mention one note that after the end of today's session, a valedictory program will be started. Our today's resource person, Professor Vikas Gite sir, is also being with us. I welcome Professor Vikas Gite sir in 1 week online FDP program on the behalf of Department of Chemistry, SPDM College Shirpur. Respected sir, please accept our virtual welcome in this online FDP program.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir, for accepting our welcome. Now, Professor Vikas Gite sir is presently working as Head of Department of Polymer Chemistry in School of Chemical Science, Kavetri Bainave Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Dr. Gite sir has completed their MSc and PhD from KBC, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, and completed his postdoc from Hanyang University, South Korea. Under the guidance of Dr. Gite sir, 40 students completed their PhD and 4 students are working. Sir has published 66 research articles in national and international reputed journal, and 3 patents are filed in Indian National Patent. Dr. Gite sir has completed 6 research projects of total cost 66 lakhs, which was funded from Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology, RUSA and UGC New Delhi. And 4 projects are ongoing of total cost 33 lakhs. Dr. Gite sir has received a Best Teacher Award 3 times in a year 2015, 2016 and 2017 from Kavetri Bainave Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Dr. Gite sir also serving as a reviewer of international journal in the field of polymers, coating and composites. Sir also have various administrative work experience like Director, KBC NMU Center for Innovation, Incubation and Linkages, Coordinator, IPR Cell, and in charge head of Industrial Chemistry. It also a member of NAC Steering Committee and POS member of KBC NMU Jalgaon. So it our great pleasure such eminent personality is being with us today. I request Professor Vikas Gite sir to start the session.
Thank you, Chaudhary sir, for nice introduction. I have one question. How much time I have?
1 hour, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. So, first of all, I am thank you to Dr. Sandeep sir, Dr. Mahire madam, Professor S.S. Rajput sir, Professor S.N. Patel sir for inviting me here and giving me chance to interact with the participants of 1 week online faculty development program on innovative learning strategies in science for sustainable research, organized by PG and Research Department of Chemistry in association with Indian Society of Analytical Sciences, Pune, and School of Chemical Sciences, KBC NMU Jalgaon. I will be talking on a research paper and thesis writing. Especially, I have designed this part for considering the national education policy and what teacher can do for students and how students should cope up the research writing in their thesis or dissertation while they are completing their graduation, post-graduation and PhD degrees. So I'm sharing one slide here. Sir, Chaudhary sir, can you allow me to share my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you can share.
So is it visible, sir, now?
Yes, sir, clearly visible.
So this is what I'm talking you from this. This is the School of Chemical Sciences, and I'm talking from somewhere here. And this is the administrative building of School of KBC North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Now it is flourished more than this. So this is one statement of ethics that the presentation is a compilation of information which is acknowledged as references and contribution of my research as well as others' experiences. Of course, this is information is not considered or should not be considered as an ideal information. So it is modifiable, or one can modify time to time, or it is case to case basis variable. Almost all cares have been taken by me to make it appropriate presentation. However, if there is some error or corrections required, that is from my side. And this presentation is made exclusively for educational purpose. And of course, your suggestions and some comments, if you have, you can comment or you can send me on my email address vikasgite123@gmail.com. So it will help me to modify my presentation next time. So the flow of presentation is like this: research manuscript writing. Here we will be talking on introduction, types of research article, publication path, conventional structure of the manuscript, or editorial or reviewers criteria for evaluation, and which part we should start or which is easy to write first. So like this, I will go with, and I lastly will conclude with which part we should write at the last. Then important points to be considered before submission, cover letter, and we'll talk on thesis writing. Almost means whatever I am talking here, although it is in view of research manuscript, it is applicable to almost your thesis as well as your master and bachelor dissertations also. And this considering master and postgraduate people dissertation, this presentation is also modified accordingly. So this is helpful for writing manuscript, dissertation, thesis, and research reports even. So this is one first research paper. This is our research paper. I purposely given here because it is with pictorial and I feel my picture is there at the last part. Although it's part of presentation, the importance behind showing is when we want to publish the paper, our aim is to prove or give the proof of hypothesis, whatever we have thought before starting that research part or your field or topic. And this is one finding of your research you want to put in front of people. So these are two important mottos, and you get something with that. So these are things that it makes availability of knowledge for others. So whatever you are making or whatever research you have done, it is available to others. It upgrades our knowledge. You may be thinking that we are making or developing some knowledge. How can it upgrades the knowledge? Yes, of course, it is upgrading your knowledge too. Because while writing, you're coming across a lot of literature, or you have to read a lot of literature before proving your hypothesis, or even during your proving your hypothesis, doing experimental work. So you're coming to know what other people have done, what they left, where I can enter. And while writing, you have to make your writing smoothly, that start from the initial to how your problems, means how problem came in front of you and how you solve those problems. So this writing also gives you upgradation of our knowledge. When you get publication, it recognizes the authors, as Sandeep sir told that Dr. Gita is with around 66 publications. So this is a recognition to authors that how many papers do you have. And awards of hard, it is also awards of hard work, how much hard work you have done, that will be in front of all. And therefore, we have to publish the research papers or research articles like this. And where you have stopped, other people can start their research. So this provides the path for future research to others also, or maybe to you people. So these are various importances behind publishing our research papers. There is one classification of research papers. One is article and other is papers. This is made by me, but available in literature also. So there can be primary literature and secondary literature. Primary literature, normally we are thinking these are reports of original research. This is proof of hypothesis that what you have done. and it includes some experimental work, results, and interpretation of findings. And normally, length of such research paper is limited compared to the secondary literature or secondary research article. So this normal length I'm talking here 3,000 to 6,000. It varies depending on the journal. It can be lower also in some cases, whereas it can be more they accept in some cases. In the secondary literature, we are not reporting our original research work, but we are taking published research work, and we are constructively analyzing this published literature or research work, and we are putting some summary analysis comparison, and this will help you to identify gaps or problems, maybe to you or others. So this will help to have the future trends or to enter with some future trends. And normally, as it is based on the published work, we are gathering a lot of research papers, and we are referring a lot of research papers, maybe from your group, maybe from others group. And normally, when you are starting writing secondary research literature or review papers, it is expected that your group have published substantial number of research paper in that particular area. So you are already master, and you want to improve your mastery, or you want to improve your knowledge, and you want to give a future trend to others also, and identify the gaps and problems also. So if you look at this, how much literature we are reviewing and we are getting, so automatically the length of this article is too much. Normally 8,000 to 40,000, and sometimes some short reviews are also welcome. When you talk about the citation, normally primary literature get the limited citation, whereas if it is a review article, the citations are more. And this review article published means there are some journals which are exclusively publishing review articles. They are of very high impact factor. That's the reason. So this kind of two literatures we are coming across, or we are writing, primary and secondary literature. Normally researchers who is doing experiment, they are going for primary literature. And if you have substantial publication in your area or field, you can go for the secondary literature. So when you are writing, normally what we are doing, idea is coming in your mind. Then you are doing some experimental work, experimental part, or you are carrying some literature review. And then we are writing research paper. Once you have studied some literature, then we are starting to write. And based on how much we have written, what is the quantity and quality of your writing material, you are selecting journal, and you are starting submission process. So for submission process, we have to go to the journal web page. We are getting there one detailed information, that information for authors. And from that, you get a lot of information. Probably you may be getting some template, what format and what font size and how references, your style of figure, quality of figure, lot many things are clear. So accordingly, you are preparing your manuscript, and you are starting to submit it. So once you submit, it is expected that if it is a good quality paper, it goes through series of reviews. Mostly, editor will look your manuscript first, and if he or she is satisfied about your work, then he will ask for 2 reviewers. There are some journals which are asking 3 reviewers, and these reviewers are very much expert in your area. And once they are accepted, invitation given by editor, the paper or the manuscript will be given to them. So they will go through that manuscript, and they will criticize on the manuscript positively, negatively, and either they will accept it, or they will say these are the major or minor comments, and you fulfill that, then we can go for acceptance, or they will reject it. Based on that, we'll either we will resubmit the manuscript to the same journal if it is given for major, minor corrections, and if it is rejected, we'll submit it to the other journal. And if it is it was given for minor, major, it can be accepted maybe once or twice. Sometimes what happens, editor is not able to come to the conclusion for whether it should be accepted or rejected based on 2 reviewers. So sometimes they are asking for, or they are going for more reviewers to take the decision. I have also came across this. I was the 5th reviewer in one. So after my submission of my comments, they took the decision and they proceeded. So this also can happen. In fact, in our case, in 2015, one of the paper was submitted to progress in organic coating, which is around 6.6 impact factor as per the Scopus and Thomson-Reuters system. So it took around 2 years to publish because they send it to 2 reviewers, then 2 more reviewers, and they given some comments. So there from our side that those, as well as they given some experiments also how, and we completed. So it took around 2 years to publish. So this happened in some cases, whereas in one ACH journal we submitted one paper in 2013 and it was accepted in the next 15 days without any correction. Rather, they given us they given us corrections, grammatical and other corrections from their side free of cost. So this also can happen. It depends on your journal, what you have taken, and it can be accepted. Then there will be copyright documentation. Either it will be taken earlier or it can be taken later. And you will have the galley proof of your manuscript, which is the last chance for you people to modify your manuscript. And thereafter it will be published in journal. So this is how the path of a research article or research paper is from your idea to publication. Then this publication is totally depending on the quality of research you carried and how you have written. Many times I've seen that we are doing very good research, but we are not able to write manuscript properly. And in that case, even though it is a good quality research, you are underestimating your research, as well as because of writing style or improper writing that get rejected. So to improve the quality of writing, we are focusing here. We are not focusing on the quality of research, what we are doing. So that's not business, or that's not part of this presentation. But this is the part in this presentation, we are looking for how can we improve the writing of the manuscript. So if you look at here, you can find here normally the structure of the manuscript is title, name and affiliation of authors, abstract, introduction, materials and methods, results and discussion, conclusions and references. And sometimes we are giving graphical abstract, which is optional one. So this is one conventional structure of the manuscript I am presenting, but this is not always correct one because this depend again from the journal to journal. But in most of the material chemistry, material physics or material based journals, this is the conventional structure what we can follow. But whatsoever is here, whether the order is changed or not, the writing, what I am talking here, that should be in that path. So it will be easy for you and it will be with the best quality. So I will talk you about how or which part we should write first. So whenever question comes in mind for writing of the manuscript, we are starting from the title, then we are writing abstract, then we are going for introduction, then experimental parts, then we are going for results and discussion, conclusions and references. So this is normal path of writing the manuscript. And this was also with me, but there were some difficulties in this writing. So I changed it and I thought that quick and easy to write part, we should write first, which is the most easiest part that should be written first. So I can tell you names and appellation of authors, materials and methods, because in materials and methods, we are sure from where or what was the source of material. And in the methods, experimental part is known to you. So you are not going to change it. So it will be full and final. And then you can start with the results. So this part, I think you should write the first instead of writing abstract and then introduction. At the middle, you can start writing some section in which you are discussing about the results, what you have put in first part. In the first part, even though I was told that key results should be written, but here results should be written means whatever results we are having, we can put them and we can write in 1 or 2 sentences, and we can discuss them in the latter phase, which is little difficult than earlier one. Then we can go for introduction and lastly with the conclusion. So this is how we have to write middle part. And at last, this we should start with title, abstract, and graphical abstract. You may be saying, sir, why don't we write the title? Yes, you can write the title at the earlier also, but that should be very tentative. Finalization of title should be at the last. And references should be put simultaneously, as and when required, we have to put the references. So I'm talking on the initial writing. So these are some initial writings. So you can find here Nilesh A. Khairnar, Bharat Chaudhary, Rahul Karnakar, and myself, Vikas Gite. So we have submitted this manuscript to International Journal of Environmental Analytical Chemistry, and it has already been published. So it was on chitosan-based ion imprinted polymer for selective extraction of zinc ion in aqueous samples. And second is you should write with the affiliations. So affiliations were School of Chemical Sciences, KBC NME Jalgaon, and Center for Environmental Sciences and Engineering, IIT Kanpur. So these were two affiliations. So these are very easy to write, and therefore we can write even title also. You can write tentatively. You may not be final it at the early. Then we can start with materials and methods. So in this case, what we expect in the materials form, information of material, name of the chemical, grade of the chemical, what was the purity, who was the supplier, like this information, whatever you feel that information is important for reproducibility of your research. So this you have to give here. So it is quite easy. Then experimental part, these include procedures of experiment, steps involved in synthesizing, and then steps involved in characterizing your compounds. If you have synthesized some, if you have formulated some, if you have mixed some material, and then application part of the material or application part of that, and then you can start writing of characterization part like your FTIR, NMR, or other characterizations what you have done. And these steps in the experimental part, the steps involved like temperature, stirring, time, equipment, these are important parts what you have to write. So say for example, the reaction was maintained at 30 degrees centigrade temperature under stirring and then at 50 degrees centigrade. This is the written by us. And now if somebody want to reproduce it, the person who want to reproduce will not be able to reproduce because you have not mentioned here how much time this temperature should be. So what you have to mention, the reaction was maintained at 30 degrees centigrade temperature under stirring for 30 minutes and then for next 1.5 hour at 50 degrees centigrade. Now it is with more clarity, and this clarity is important for reproducing your results or reproducing the work. So whosoever want to synthesize or prepare the material according to your method, if it is clear to them, if it is reproducible to them, they can produce it, they can cite your reference, and you will have the more citation. So it should be with the clarity. As we were talking about techniques of characterization, so these techniques we have to mention here. So these are short processes, and we must mention what equipment, what model, and some special condition. Say for example, how many times it was scanned, how you increase the temperature, how you decrease the temperature, what was the range of the temperature while testing, what was the time span. Like this short processes we can mention in the techniques of characterization. Suppose you synthesize some chemicals, so you go first for proving the structural characteristics of that compound. So you first write on techniques of characterization based on structural elucidation, like your IR, NMR, mass, whatever you have taken, or whichever you feel suitable. Accordingly, you have carried those characterizations, you can write them. Then you write on other characterizations, how you required in your experiment. So this is how we can write materials and method. Normally what happen in this materials and method, we feel that, sir, we have to write the same procedure again and again number of times. If you are having same or similar kind of work, then the repetition of words is coming, like the reaction condition was, it will repeat it 3-4 times in the same para. So it makes, or it puts bad impression. So that repetition of words should be avoided. Some examples are given here: reaction condition, amount used, then, temperature, after. These are some words which we are using consistently and more times than, and then it looks that your manuscript is not written properly or up to the mark. Therefore, you have to take care that there should not be repetition of the words in writing your manuscript, especially techniques of characterization. So you have to take care, how can we write, how can we change the pattern. Then I am coming to the result parts. So if you look at the results part, it is a evidence to support or to reject your hypothesis, what you are doing. So normally, if it is rejected, we are not writing research manuscript, but if it is supportive, then we are writing the manuscript, and therefore we are writing accordingly. So this is orderly manner arrangements of your findings, whatever you have synthesized, whatever results you have got. And when you are writing, there should be one take-home message. Suppose you have taken FTIR, so you are putting FTIR of so and so compound. So your take-home message should be there. You are just highlighting or putting some bullet point. We are not discussing it. We have just taken FTIR. We have put it into results and discussion section, and we have given figure number and caption that this is the figure number 1 FTIR of so and so compound. Like this, we can write and write some highlights about that. You have done the reaction and what you want to take from that, so that you can put here. And here, sequence of headings or sequence of your discussion or putting results is same as that of the techniques of characterization, which we have mentioned in the experimental section. There should, and if it is ups and down, both of them should be in the synchronization. And try to represent the data in tables and graphs. Suppose you have carried your research in several solvents or at several temperature. So you can put this into the graph. In one side, you can put the temperature of the reaction. Say, for example, 30 degrees centigrade, 50 degrees centigrade, 70 degrees centigrade, 90 degrees centigrade. And in next column, you can put some yield or some other conditions or results. So in this way, you can put the data in tables and graphs. So they are more, you can say, understandable. Also use important images as figure, as I mentioned here, FTIR, so that can be put in the figures. Numbering and caption. So this table number, figure number, or graphs should be with the number, like figure number 1, figure number 2, table number 1, table number 2, like this you can give. As well as suppose you have merged 3-4 figures or 3-4 graphs in one figure. So you can give A, B, C, D. And then in figure 1, graphical representation of A, you can write then B, you can write something, C, you can write something, and D. So like this, so people will clearly understand the graph present in figure 1, the part of it A is representing so and so. So it is very clear to other people and it is self-explanatory. Figures are very important. Figures are more than 1,000 words as far as explanation is concerned. Description of table, figure, graph. So when you are putting some figure or graphs, write 2, 3, 4 bullet points highlighting the main message. Here in the result part, it is actually difficult part to write. If you merge it with the discussion, so we are not talking here about the discussion. We are just talking about how we can put results. So we have just taken the figures, we have just taken the graphs, and we have written some bullet points or only important highlights we have written there, either in the sentence form or just in the bullet point form. So it is that time it will be easy. Avoid repetition of experimental part. So this is also seen number of times. I am a reviewer to many journal, and I have seen people are making mistake which part they are writing in or they should have written in the techniques of characterization. They are repeating, or either they are writing it in the results part. So either it should be shifted to the techniques of characterization or experimental part, or it should not be repeated in the results part. So it gives your poor impression to the reviewer. And while writing or putting these results, we are coming to know that which author have contribution, which part, and therefore it also gives us decision regarding contribution of authors. And nowadays, as characterizations are easily available, we are doing a lot of characterization or more characterizations, and therefore it limits us sometimes in keeping the length of the manuscript appropriate. So what journal have done nowadays, they started to give some supporting information part. So if you have large length or more length of your manuscript, so you put only important characterization in your main manuscript, and other characterizations which may be conventional or may not require much more, but you have done them, or maybe for some small part. So you can put in the supporting information, and both the main manuscript and supporting information can be uploaded while submitting our manuscript. Now I am coming to the middle writing part. We are slowly moving towards the finalization of manuscript. Now we have put the results. As these results we received, we prepared them into figures or graphical or images format, whichever is convenient to us or whichever is best you feel. And now we are considering the highlights and take-home messages. We are starting to interpret, correlate, and compare our findings with the literature or previously published research work. So that is the discussion part. This is very important, friends. When I was publishing my research paper initially, I was not giving some references in the discussion part. And therefore, the impression of my manuscript was not up to the mark, even though the quality of research was good. So the research papers were not publishing in very good journal. Now I got it. Whenever you are writing research paper, and if you are having some references or citation of previous literature in your discussion part, that improves the quality of, or at least it gives impression to the reviewer that the quality of this manuscript is good. And that's why we have to give some citations here. So when you want to give citation, you are comparing it with the earlier research that so and so have got this much yield when they synthesized by XYZ route, whereas in our route we got more yield, or you can say at low temperature we carried the reaction. So these are your findings, and you are comparing with earlier research. So normally when you are writing the discussion, some of the examples are given here, which sentences you can use. Common startings can be, or in between you can write the data suggests that, the data contributes that, the findings confirm structure of so and so, the present study indicates that, it has been observed from the result or image, the result demonstrated. Either you can take past tense or you can write in the present also. The result contradicts. What are conclusions of your data and limitation that has been here? So this way you can present here. Normally what happens, you are describing the figures which are present in your manuscript. Therefore, you can use simple tense also. But you have carried it earlier. So some part of your writing is in the past tense. So there is always confusion which sentence should be in the past tense and which should be in the present tense. So it was with me, and I saw, or I studied a lot of literature or a lot of manuscript for this, and how they are writing, which tense they are using, why they are using this tense. And I came to know that if I write everything in the past tense, that is also acceptable. So I started to write in the past tense. So now there is no question which part should be written in present and which should be written in the past tense. But you can decide because these figures are in the manuscript, so you can write in the present also. So when you are converting it into the past tense, you can convert this common starting in the particular tense also. That is quite possible. Then we are coming to the introduction of the article. Now you have understood many things. You started with some hypothesis. You carried some experimental part. You got some results after techniques of characterizations or characterizing your compounds, characterizing your materials or applications of your material. And now you got which problem you solved, which was not known to you. By hypothesis, you were known about, but some other problems which were not known to you, these are also solved by you. And you understood the importance of your research. And that is why at this point, if you start to write the introduction, you'll focus on those points also which you have solved. And that's the reason why I said you have to write the introduction in the latter part. So what is the introduction part? This is the background of the research covered in the paper. So it is background to understand why, how you have done or why you have done, and pick out the things which are the most relevant. So this your results and discussion part will help you to picking such things which are relevant to your research. And whenever you are talking about your introduction part, the section should answer following questions. You ask questions to yourself. What is the importance of your research? Which issues or problems you are addressing? Which points are interesting to readers? And if you are able to give answers of these questions, your introduction is properly written. Your introduction is at part. So this is how we have to write or we have to address. So what is the importance of your research and which issues or problems you have addressed or you are addressing in your manuscript, that we are coming to know from the results and discussion section. Some of them were known to you while starting your research, but some of them were not known to you. So you get a chance to explain them that this literature prepared this compound. However, while preparing this compound, the temperature was high or reaction conditions were severe. They were using some toxic chemical like this. You can explain because you have done some work which will help or which is helping to reduce the reaction temperature, to have the proper solvent. So it can be a green chemistry approach even. So these problems you have already solved. So you can mention, you can cite those research which are having that kind of research and which problems you are solving, so that you can write in the next or next para or near to that. So you can write. Normally, major research paper starts with introduction of the literature and research in 1 to 2 straight sentences. I have seen some research papers are giving very long general introduction. So it is okay when you are writing book manuscript or you are writing book. So that time it is important for the readers to understand, and that's why we are writing. But when you are writing your research paper, it is expected whosoever is a reader, he or she has a knowledge of your area. And even if they don't have, they have to go somewhere and read that. So that is why we are not here or we are not bound to give introduction of elaborated introduction of your topic. So normally 1 or 2 straight sentences are sufficient to describe about your research, or at the max your 1 para, very small 1 para. And then you can slowly come to your address, importance about research. Then you can say about your address, what you have addressed. So tables, figures, and graphics you can put at the middle also or at the while putting the results and discussion. Sometimes some figures you can add later also. So why I am emphasizing or why I'm saying that there should be figures and graphs, because they are most eye-catching parts of the research writing. They are self-explanatory. You don't need to write something about it. Yeah, of course we are writing, but even if there is nothing, people can understand. Put minimum text into this, or only an important text in which is very essential. Text should be bold or italic. Normal font size is 12 to 14. Arial, Helvetica, and clear to read. So this is very important. Figures are not clear, they are blur. Font size and figure size are not matching. Sometimes fonts are too small or they are too big compared to your figure. So you have to match them. These are just example given by me here. Not necessary you have to stick up to 12 to 14 Arial or that fonts. You can choose your fonts also, but it should be clear to read. And whatever font and font size you have chosen for figure 1, that should be throughout the same. And these images should be clear with high resolution. Nowadays, softwares are available which are increasing the clarity or resolution of your figures so that you can utilize. If you don't know, you ask to your friend, somebody can help you. Give numbers. No repetition of data in tables and figures. Normally, it is also seen sometimes you are giving the data in figures also. That means graphical representation, and you may be giving in the tables. It is okay in the thesis, we have to write all these figures, but not in manuscript. And sequentially cite your text, you cite your figures, graphs and tables in the text, that figure 1 is representing so and so, then figure 2, figure 3, like this in the sequence properly. Check for any special requirements of the journal for the figures, whether they require border, whether they require bold word, your writing or text, or they require some color, black and white, like this. Some journals are giving or having their own specialization or specific requirements, so you can give them. Sometimes they are asking in JPEG, they are asking in PDF form, like this. When you are having chemical reaction, I suggest that write the chemical reaction first, then repeat it, writing in different way. So number of ways you change, and then after having 3-4 ways, you try to couple, you try to understand which is better, and then couple best formats and make your own or finalize best one. So this is how you can write chemical reactions. So this is one figure which is clearly showing you how microcapsules were prepared. So these are distinct from each other, not they are separated properly. This is a scanning electron images of microcapsules with inhibitors to MBI. So A and B, as I mentioned, you A, B should be clear. Then C and D. So this is how you can write. So this is figure 2, but it contains 4 images. And what image A, what is A, what is B, what is C, and what is D, that is also clear. This is the final conclusion. It is the thought presented in the paper, issues addressed or investigations achieved. It covers significance of your findings, which are not covered earlier. Sometimes these conclusions are the conclusions from 2-3 characterizations, or you can put some conclusions in your results and discussion section also. As I mentioned, you take home message. It summarizes your main conclusions of discussion section. Write conclusions in clear and simple ways. It is chance to say your research problems, maybe in the single sentence, as well as mention further opportunities based on your investigation. That can be a single sentence or part of your conclusion. I'm coming to final writing. The first and the most important part is title, which is appearing to editor, reviewers, readers first. So this is the best chance or first chance to attract attention of the readers. It may be editor, reviewer, or your common man. And hence it has to be written with intense care. Titles should be specific, not too specific, slightly technical and slightly concise, short and simple. So these are something I can tell you about the title. So whatever title you have written first, you can revise at this stage. You can write 3-4 titles, and slowly you can come to one, which is the best one. Then you can write about the abstract. Now you have come to know that what you have mentioned or how you have solved the problem, and therefore writing abstract is very easy now. It is extract or short summary of your manuscript. And this is the first part that is appearing during searching of the literature, or it is freely available, and that's why people can read it. Whether research paper is available or not, that's different issue, but this is available in most of the time. So once your title is catchy, they will go for the abstract. And if they're satisfied with the abstract, they can read your entire article. So this is how you can attract to people, and therefore your abstract writing is very important. It is a skill of the authors to write the abstract. There are sometimes journals are giving some length, 150 to 250 words, and accordingly you can put your abstract in that line only. Otherwise, what people are doing, they are preparing 300, 350, and while submission, they are coming to know that it is only 150. So immediately journal will not go for the next step. That will stop there only. So you have to make it into 150, and we are hurriedly doing, and we are sometimes losing some important information which should be the part of abstract, and we are giving some unnecessary information. We are making some correction on the spot, and we are losing some wrong things, or we are not giving it properly. That's the issue. Therefore, we should be clear about, after selecting the journal, how much length of the abstract should be. It should be concise and clear. Start with the first general sentence. What you have done, how have you done, how have you proven the synthesis or formation of materials, and some important findings. So this should be the nature of your abstract. And of course, keywords we have to put. This helps in future of the literature searching. So whenever anybody is searching the literature, that time, if your and that's why keywords are important. Otherwise, in the quality of research manuscript, they don't have much more impact. But in the citation, they have impact. We also have some graphical abstract. This I am just giving one example. So this is how graphical abstract is. You can have minimum text over here, maximum figures, combination of figures like that. So people are coming to know what is done in his or her research work, how it has done, or which problems they are solving. Like these some questions, answers of these questions you can have in your graphical abstract. And this is simultaneous writing, that we have to simultaneously write references. So good impression over reviewers, if you have considered the relevant papers or the papers of relevant person. So cite good reviews in the field, cover recent and relevant papers, give numbers properly, format the citing slide style, format the style of references, and this formatting of citing and style of references can be done with some softwares like EndNote software. I'm not very much comfortable in this. I cannot tell you about softwares like EndNote, but you can. So it is an easy way. I have seen it. My students are well known about, so I don't need to look at. Because if you know EndNote, and if you change your manuscript, if you want to submit to some other journal, by by just simple clicks, within few minutes, you can change your entire journal reference citation as well as reference styles. And that's why You have to use the endnotes. These are some styles given here. Important points before submission of your manuscript. Carefully read the instruction given on the homepage of the journal, especially for authors. Check grammatical and typographical corrections before submission, even after submission also. There should be uniform font and size of your headings. Sequence of seconds should be properly given, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Citation and style of references should be according to the journal. Whenever you are using any abbreviation, it should appear at the first time. Then no need to repeat. Read the entire manuscript after uploading and make changes, if any, before final submission. So it will give you a chance to correct your manuscript if there is something left. Write-up must be free from plagiarism, free from using someone else's language, ideas, or other original material without acknowledging the sequence. And of course, it is optional, but you have to submit the cover letter to the editor because this gives you opportunity to interact or communicate directly with the editor and reviewer. So their first reading clearly explain advances and findings of the manuscript. Highlight of the most important results should be there, and this should be very small cover letter, not too lengthy, not too technical. Avoid excess technical details. Always submit cover letter. Suggest the referees because this shows your updated knowledge in the area, who is working in your area. So that will be known to readers, reviewers. Normally, journal is asking for 3 to 5 referees. And what is the criteria of referee? They can be 1, 2, 3. So they will. Thank you. There was some issue at my side for. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Are all the conclusions proper and based on the data given? Is the length of the paper sufficient, or it's too lengthy or too short? Are the number of figures and table adequate? Are all figures and table required, or they are sometimes unnecessary? Is the language of the manuscript is suitable for publication? So if you are writing accordingly what I have mentioned, it's not ideal what I am talking to you, but it is better in many aspects. And so if you follow it, of course, your language will be 5-10% better than the earlier. This is regarding the thesis, which is the most important written document of PhD, which is the highest degree one can acquire. Other degrees are higher DSc DLit, but these are honorary degrees. So your finalization of research topic, outline submission, this is the flow while you are doing PhD. And conventional structure of the thesis, title, declaration, also there are some acknowledgements and others. Then we are coming to index, abbreviations, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chapter 1 is introduction, 2 is literature review, 3 is experimental part, 4th is results and discussion, 5th is summary, research output, and graphical abstract. Graphical is optional. Most of the time in the thesis, people are not giving. So here you have to compile all your work in the introduction and in literature and in experimental and results and discussion. But nowadays people are not following that. People are mostly following this structure. Up to index, it is clear. Abbreviation and list of figures people are not giving nowadays. Sometimes they are available in few theses, but not always, because most of the theses are soft copies and one can find them easily. So chapter 1 is introduction, which is covering itself literature review. Then chapter 2 is coming, which starts with introduction of the small hypothesis of your thesis, which you are solving, which includes introduction, experimental results and discussion, and references. And your first hypothesis is over. Then you are taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like this you are having. So all these chapters you are publishing as a separate research paper, and that you can compile. If you have published research paper earlier, you can compile at the time of thesis compilation. So it's only maybe 15 days work. Summary, research output, and graphical abstract you can give here. Summary, I am not sure about, but research output you have to give, because when reviewer is taking your thesis in hand, they are going to see what you have produced from your thesis, which papers you have published, how many you have published, and if they are with the good quality journals, they can immediately pass on your thesis. They will just superficially look where they want and immediately come to the conclusion that this thesis should be accepted. If it is not in the good journal, they will read it very, very carefully, and then they will come to the conclusion. That's why if you have good research paper, write research output. Here also more or less same part we can have. Declaration, certificate, acknowledgement out of the output of the thesis. These are easy ways. In chapter, experimental part is easy, and in the experimental part, what we have seen in the manuscript, that is same again. And lastly, you can write about introduction and summary of the thesis. So whenever your thesis is going for evaluation, more or less criteria is for same as that of the manuscript. But here they are going for mainly qualitative and quantitative approach, whether you have done quantitative work as well as qualitative work. They are checking it for the suitability of this research, what you have done for PhD degree, language, and content also. So with this, I will stop here. Before I stop, I will acknowledge the literature, what I have referred for making this public presentation. Thank you. And I also acknowledge the organizer for inviting me and giving the chance to interact with you people. Thank you, sir. Saudari, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hello. Yes, sir, I am audible.
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, if you have any questions, please freely ask. The session is open for discussion. I think no more questions, sir. In order to continue with Zoom, I invite Dr. LP Chaudhary, sir, for a valedictory session. Thank you, sir. Our chief guest convener, Dr. Morris, sir, is going to join within a few minutes, just 1 minute. We are going to start this valedictory session. valedictory function for this within 1 minute. Participants, please stay. So, now it's time for valedictory function. I again welcome all of you. I virtually welcome our principal, Professor S. Rajput sir, with convener of this 1 week online faculty development program on innovative learning strategies in Pacific for sustainable research. I also welcome Professor D. More sir, with the convener of this 1 week faculty development program. We are going to organize this program in a collaboration with School of Chemical Science, KBCM Jalgaon. I also welcome our today's resource person and his guest of this function, Professor U.A. Gitesh sir. Now, I request More sir, School KBCM Jalgaon, convener of this FDP, to share their views regarding this workshop. Please, sir. Sir, I join the meeting. Maybe due to some technical, sir has left this meeting. Nobody will be going to continue this part. So, being a coordinator, again, I welcome all the dignitaries, chief guests, and all dear participants. Today is the last day of this 1 week online faculty development program. It is organized by PG and Research Department of Chemistry, SPDM College, Tirupur, in collaboration with School of Chemical Science, KBCNM Jalgaon, and in association with Indian Society of Analytical Scientists, ISS Pune chapter. First of all, I would like to thank you, our principal of our college, Professor Rajput sir, Dean Faculty of Science, KBCNM Jalgaon, our Vice Principal, Professor F.M. Bagul sir, and Vice Principal, Dr. S.P. Mayre ma'am, and Organizing Secretary, Dr. P.G. Patil, and my all colleagues for their encouragement to do an active coordinatorship in this faculty development program. Now, if I talk briefly regarding the FDP lecture, various topics related to radiopharmaceuticals, phytochemistry, surface interfaces in smart materials, spectroscopy of organic molecules, research paper writing, thesis writing. These topics are covered here. I hope all of you learn a lot from all the sessions and have gained the knowledge by investing your precious time. This is not the end because the collaboration with all of you will be forever. Dear participants, without your constant support, the program will not be successful. So I am thankful to each and every participant for your constant support. Thank you. I think Professor More sir has joined this meeting. Sir, please unmute yourself. So on the behalf of organizing committee, SPDM College Tirupur, we are going to welcome you, sir, and please share your views regarding this 1 week faculty development program. Please, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Chief Convener, Dr. Principal Rajput sir, other organizing members. First of all, I congratulate the organizing committee and the leader of the organizing committee, Rajput sir, sorry, for organizing this workshop, Innovative Learning Strategies in Science for Sustainable Research. See, in the title, that is innovative and for sustainable research. So this topic is a kind of requirement of the time that we has to incorporate innovative ideas, innovative strategies for the sustainable research means, and that research can be made more applied, particularly for the society upliftment. And I have taken the feedback that entire deliberations was really good and beneficial for the participants. Once again, I really congratulate for the team of this organizing team of this college, the team leader, Rajput sir, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to say a few words. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving your precious time for us and for guiding us and share your views. Thank you, sir. Now it's time for the feedback participants. So if anybody wants to give feedback about this 1 week faculty development program, then You can raise your hand in meeting or so that we can meet yourself. We got two representative feedback from the participants. So still we are going to share that one. So
Good evening to everyone who are present on this online 1 week faculty development program. Myself, Dr. Jitendra M. Paura, Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry, Changu Kana Thakur, Arts, Commerce and Science College, New Panvel. I thanks to organizing committee for giving me the opportunity to give feedback on this 1 week faculty development program on innovative learning strategies in science for sustainable research organized by PG and Research Department of Chemistry, SPDM College Shirpur, in collaboration with School of Chemical Sciences, KBC, NMU Jalgaon, in association with Indian Society of Analytical Scientists, ISAS Pune chapter, in between 18 to 23rd of March 2024. So overall, it was good learning experience for all the participants and the budding researcher like us. All the resource persons are very knowledgeable. The sessions are engaging. The topics which are covered by the resource person are in the line of title of the FDP. The topics covered from radioactivity to spectroscopic technique. And on behalf of all the participants, I thanks to the faculties of chemistry department, Mahire madam, Paresh Patil sir, Chaudhary sir and Mahale sir for organizing such wonderful online 1 week faculty development program. So the organization of this 1 week faculty development program, it's showcasing the institution commitment to the academic excellence and scientific development of the institution. The overall 1 week faculty development program, it is well structured, it is promising, it provides the valuable insight and knowledge exchange between the faculties, students and the resource person in the field of chemistry. Thank you very much sir for giving me this opportunity.
thank you, sir, for your sharing this video feedback to us. That will be definitely helpful to encourage us. Now I'm going to share one more feedback for as a female representative.
Hello everyone, I am Jayashree Patil, a PhD scholar from Department of Chemistry, MS University of Baroda, Gujarat. I want to express my sincere appreciation for the 1 week faculty development program organized by SPDM College Shirpur. Over the course of FDP, I found to be a wonderful and useful experience. all speakers are providing valuable insights, and because all respected speakers were expertise in their field and deliver their presentation with great knowledge, and which is enriching our learning experience. And personally, this program has been greatly beneficial for me. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to the principal of SPDM College, Dr. S.S. Rajput sir, and former principal Dr. S.N. Patel sir, and all professors of Department of Chemistry, consistently organizing such an event and workshops and such programs, which providing us with opportunity to participate and benefit from this. So thankful to the SPDM College for organizing such a wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your views and sharing this video feedback. Now it's time to vote of thanks. I request the organizing secretary of this one faculty development program, Dr. Paresh Patil sir, to give vote of thanks. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Paresh Patil, and I'm here for the vote of thanks of this 1 week faculty development program on this innovative learning strategies in sciences for sustainable research, organized by PG and Research Department of Chemistry, SPDM College, Shirpur, in collaboration with the School of Chemical Science, sponsored by Bahinabai North Maharashtra University, Belgaum, and in association with the Indian Society of Analytical Scientists, Pune chapter, because organizing FDP is a great challenging task, and it cannot be possible without the great preparation, support from every corner and blessing. Now it's time to convey our gratitude to all who have extended their support to make this FDP successful, and outside and on the behalf of this organizing committee, I would like to express my profound gratitude to our President and chief patron, Dr. Kishore Ji Rande, President of Kisan Vidyapata Sanstha Shirpur, for his blessing and motivation. Sir, you are the source of our motivation and energy. In most humbly thanks to our Professor V.L. Maheshwari, Sir, Vice Chancellor of Tulsibai Bahinabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Belgaum, for their motivation and blessing. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Professor S.P. Sir, Vice Chancellor, Tulsibai Bahinabai, North Maharashtra University, Belgaum, for their motivation. I would like to express my sincere thanks to our Mr. Rohit P. Rande, Registrar and Trustee, Kisan Vidyapata Protection Shirpur, for his blessing and motivation. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Professor S.S. Rajput sir, Principal, SPDM College, Shirpur, and Dean of Science Faculty, Savitribai Bahinabai, North Maharashtra University, Belgaum, for their active guidance and continuous support. Sir, thank you, sir. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Professor B.H. More sir, Director, School of Chemical Science, Savitribai Bahinabai, North Maharashtra University, Belgaum, for their collaboration and support for this FDP program. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to also Indian Society of Analytical Scientists, Pune chapter, sir, for their association. I would like to express my sincere thanks to also all the resource persons. The first resource person, Dr. Nilima Rajanpur, Madam. The second resource person, Dr. Atul Kirkekar, sir. The third resource person, P. Kumar Singh, sir. The fourth resource person, Dr. Nishad G. Deshpande, sir. The fifth resource person, Professor Vivek Bogde, sir. Day 6, resource person, Professor Vikas DVT, sir, for their nice talk and nice presentation. Thank you in this specific program. My sincere thanks to our Vice Principal, Dr. S.M. Bagul, sir, and Dr. S.P. Mayday, ma'am. I'm also thankful to the coordinator, Dr. L.P. Chaudhary, sir, for taking a lot of effort and making this program successful. Thank you, sir. My special thanks to our ICAT coordinator, Dr. Gili Bhaskar, sir, and Dr. Sandeep Solanki, sir, Head Department of Computer Science, for their constant support for this FDP program. I'm also thankful to all these organizing committee members, Dr. C.M. Power, sir, Dr. Isudev, ma'am, Professor P.G. Patil, sir, Professor D.G. Chaudhary, sir, Professor D.G. Patil, sir, Professor B.P. Male, sir, Dr. S.R. Patil, sir, and Dr. S.B. Chaudhary, sir, for their efforts for this FDP program. Thank you to all. And there is an instruction for this participant. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. there is one online test. The link will be shared in this WhatsApp group. Please complete this task and this test. Thank you. And with the kind permission of our honorable principal, Sir, I declare this function is over. Thank you all.